Okay, welcome everyone. We'll start our lesson. So today we'll go through LO4, be able to plan effective human resource strategy. Before starting our lesson, so first we'll recap what we learned up to now. So which we'll go through. So during our previous lessons, we covered up to now 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, and the learning outcome 1, in which we learn about understand the role of strategic management of human resources, where we discuss about the importance of human resource. We discuss about organization objectives. Second lesson, we discuss about be able to create a human resource plan in an organization, where we discuss about different factors those we need to be kept in mind when we'll plan. We discuss about organization mission, vision, and values. We discuss about the internal and external. We discuss about recruitment plan, promotional plan, different within HR. So in last lesson, we discuss about be able to discuss the role of legal ethical issues in developing human resource policy. We discuss what is meant by policy, what sort of policies we can. We discuss about contract law. We discuss about some legal employment rights, employment legislation, where we discuss about equal pay. We discuss about Health and Safety Act. We discuss about Data Protection Act 1998. We discuss about ethical issues in a human resource, like salaries, gender pay gaps, and those sort of things we discussed during last lesson. So today lesson we'll go through LO4, be able to plan effective human resource strategies. We have a four assessment criteria which we'll go through. So 4.1, 4.2, and 4.3, which we'll go through during our lesson, and these are inductive contents which was supposed to be covered under this, which will go through assess the role and the purpose of strategies, organization strategies, and HRM. That we'll go through during our lesson today, and we'll discuss about organization structures. We'll discuss about organization cultures. So these sort of things, we'll discuss during our learning outcome. So please, if you have any question, just drop me text or drop me email, and I'll get back to you. Today we'll go through the culture's impact, so analyzing organization strategy structure. So that's our inductive content, which is linked with other, the learning outcomes as well. So these are the legislation which we discussed during last lesson. We'll go through propose effective, appropriate HR strategy, how we can propose, and we'll go through HR and critical monitoring and effective HR, how we can make HR policies more effective. So that's all we'll go through during our today lesson. So please, if you have any question, just write in the chat box. Okay, we'll start then. Okay, welcome everyone. We'll start now. So today 4.1 is our assessment criteria, analyze the impact of organization strategy, structure, and culture on management of human resource. So the word strategy is derived from the Greek word strategies we used to be in military. We discussed in previous lessons as well. So strategy mean action plan. So in a human resource, we'll discuss what strategies and the strategy, structure, and culture debate definition of organization structure, including the reference to the fact that involve the coordination of activities to achieve organization objective. Whatever we are doing here, end of the day, our purpose to achieve organization objective. So when we'll set our objective, we need to be set our objective smart. specific, measurable, achieve, realistic, and time defined, and our HR activities need to be leads to achieve these objectives. These goals are likely to be determined by the strategy of organization, indicating a clear link between the strategy and structure. Structure of organization, who will be responsible, role and responsibility, all come change of command, all come under organization structure. So it has therefore been suggested that the management of organization makes significant changes to its strategy, that this is likely to have implication of for the structure. So we need to be make sure, structurally. And then of course structure represent the organization culture, the norms, the value, the way we do business. Structure can be flat structure can be functional structure in our organization, and upward and downward
Of course.
in a structure. Well done. Now I can hear you. So that's we need to be make sure our organization structure is in a way it's communicate. We have a clearly chain of command who is responsible for. We have a clear role and responsibility to achieve our organization objective. So next when we looking the link between these three is a mission and strategies we discussed in previous lesson. Mission, why we are in the business, what is the purpose of in the business. We not contradict our strategies with the mission. Organization structure need to be in line with the mission and the strategies of organization, and human resource management will help. So we need to be look around. It can be changed keeping in view of the economic forces, political forces, and culturally forces, and culture within our organization and culture outside organization. So HR should be contribute to overall effectiveness of organization. Not it's not create a problem for our organization. It should reduce and coordinate, reduce the biases, conflict in our organization. It can achieve this number of way helping organization reaching its goal, empowering workforce skills and attribute efficiently, and increase the job satisfaction, self-actualization, and the quality of work life. So when we do in our organization, we'll achieve sporting to all HR policies, which we discuss HR policy, ICAS as well during last lesson. All level of management need to understand what HR function can provide term of support and maintain ethically, socially responsible. We need to look around. So organization effectiveness is also about the people management in within the organization, empowerment, pushing the responsibility to the lower level in our organization. That's why there's a huge discussion going around the corporate governance. Is it the govern the organization only top level management? No, that's why especially Theresa May is putting new legislation in place, where will the corporate governance low level employees supposed to be uh, their representation within a board of governance. So because the lot of issues, the director and the CEOs getting bonus in millions, but the low level employees they're not getting the right shares of their performance. So that's why, and the misuse of the funds and things as well. So right to make a mistake has immense impact on the speed of the efficiency of organization, where we can look around HR role in education of managers to empower the employees as a process of smooth and quicker. The role of HR is identifying and challenging gap in our organization. So we need to be make sure our organization structure empower people, because end of the day if they work in the and we need to be all work toward the best interest of the organization actualization, the process involving ensuring that the employee feel their role is right for their abilities. So that's why we need to think about the people will work according to best their ability, their skills. We not really restrict them, because sometimes we don't listen them. We say, oh no, that's fine. We not you should be stick with this and that. So we need to be take on board their views as well, their ideas. So when the employees will be satisfied, ultimate the productivity will be higher. So actualization leads to the better quality of work life. So that is quite crucial, because that's why when in our organization we look the retention rate and absentees, all this reflect the is it to the quality of work life or not, or the organization provide the flexible working hours or not, or the culture within our organization is effective or not. So any question?
That's okay.
So changing phase of HR, there have been a number of dimension changing phase of HR function in recent years. So we can there have been moved to increase the value of HR offers its business customer, and we of course end of the day we need to look around, people interaction with the customer is very crucial. We can look around the external environment, we can look around the corporate social responsibility as an organization we have, and the emphasis on offering solution business problem rather than the delivering HR best practices. So we need to be look around, we create and will provide best solutions for customers. So when we looking in term of organization cultures and values, so this picture is a bit, sorry, slides and move around. So we need to be look around organization strategies have a link with organization culture. So that represent organization culture. Then we need to look around the competitive financial environment within our organization and current organization situation. So then these leads to available financial resources. If we have, we need to be best to use them. And HR activities, we need to make sure our HR activities in line with it, with overall equal employment, recruiting and selecting policies, HR development, compensation, performance management, employees relationships, so strategic human resource context process. So that need to be contextualized with the overall organization mission and vision. So today, because we are discussing about more structural, the company's strategic plan, human resource strategic plan, HR plan, the company's strategic plan, then HR strategic plan, strategic analysis. We need to identify any HR issue, prioritize the issue, and drop the human resource strategic plan. We will discuss further slides as well. HR plan, determine the needs, recruit and select, develop compensation and appraisal performance. So our appraisal uh, system in our organization is a lot of our organization and researcher or authors recommend 360-degree appraisal. So not appraised by the senior, by junior, but the various stakeholder will appraise you and your performance will be determined on the basis of uh, 360-degree appraisal. So that's we need to be follow in our organization. Then we discuss about strategies, strategic focus, and HR strategy and HR activities, cost leadership. If we want to be cost leadership, efficiency, stability, and cost control. So long HR planning, we need to be build the skilled existing employee jobs and employee specialization efficiency. So we need to be HR activity promote from within extensive training. We need to be look around hire and train for the specific capability. Differentiation, growth, innovation, and decentralization. That can be strategic focus. We can look around HR strategy, shorter HR planning, Kaizen, higher the HR capability needed, and broader, more flexible jobs and implies. So external staffing, less training, hire and train for broad competencies, which we discussed in previous lesson, or capabilities and competencies. So that's HR activities we need to be linked. So further, we have in 4.1, we're supposed to be discuss the culture. Culture is composed of the social factor affecting the values, beliefs, and action of people, power distance, equality among the people, mission, individualism. People like to act individually or group. That can be we learn in other lessons as well. Half state cultural dimension, plurality and femininity, success versus the quality of life. In some cultures, people want success is a money. And other is the quality of life is more working and the flexibility, uncertainty in some country, avoidance, and in some cultures maybe people are not willing to change. So we need a bit of flexibility. We need to be look around within our organization, culture, and overall society cultures. We need to be reflect long-term orientation, long term versus short term, that can be. But organization effectiveness and strategic human resource HR management play a significant role in the several dimensions of organization effectiveness, organization productivity, financial contribution, return on investment. We need to be service and qualities. Quality affected by the workers who interact with the customer. Organization culture should be viewed as the prevailing climate within our organization. Any question?
No.
Okay, then Handy gave us model. One of the author, he recommended four types of the culture: power culture, where the people more demonstrate on the power; role culture, where the role and responsibility; task culture; and personal culture. So that's I copied one of the link, which is quite good to be further enhance our understanding about these cultural issues in a HR as well. So I'll try to quick, this place. So we can copy this link and we can just paste there and we can play this. So if you want, so that is quite good. So power culture control radiate concentrate the power among few and the few roles and bureaucracy in our organization. That can be a culture in our organization. So, so various organizations, their failure due to the power culture. Yes.
Yes, yes.
So then role culture, people have clearly delegate authorities within a high defined structure. So everyone knows their role and responsibility. So thus we can look around under that. Then is a task culture where the teams are formed to solve the particular problem, power drive from the expertise. So that's like a metric organization structure where the different project with project A, B, C, D, and the functional areas, those stay the same, but the teams carry on and the project carry on changing, their roles. So that's we can personal culture. People believe themselves to be superior to the business. That is called the personal culture. So people feel they have a sense of, and the power culture is autocratic, role culture is autocratic or can be patriotic, and the task culture, it can be democratic more, and the personal culture can be sort of democratic as well. Any question?
No, that's okay.
So these are, please, when you do your assignment, so you can add in your discussion as well. So that's there. So that's all about our 4.1, which we discuss about structure, cultures, and how we can link with the overall organization uh, objective and how we can achieve organization objectives. So second 4.2, plan and effective HR strategy. So plan is where we are, where we want to be, and the strategy is action planning, how we'll do the thing. So in HR planning, organization productivity is a measurement of the quantity of the work done and considering. So when we're looking in a overall organization perspective, question how to improve organization of and organization restructuring the right side, we can make the people redundant, redesigning the work and so that's we can inline HR activities, training for effectiveness, and outsourcing analysis contractor are the part-time. So all we need to be, when we'll make HR planning, so we need to be look around the organization objective and the strategies what we need to analyze the internal inventory of HR capability do we have, or we can scan external environment, because external environment carry on and we can forecast organization needs. We can forecast organization and needs, survey of people's available HR strategies and plan. So all is a HR planning process which we need to be focused and we can. Any question?
Nope.
Okay, so strategic human resource management and planning when we do so environmental scanning is very, very crucial. The things change, that especially in terms of employment legislation. So think about the national minimum wage is increase and decrease. So if we not scan it, so our strategies may be not reflecting accordingly. So we need to be make sure internal assessment of organization workforce auditing jobs and skills is very crucial. What's new skills? If we are installing a new software, we need to think about, how many people we have, those have ability or skill to operate the system. Maybe the system is good itself, but the people don't have ability because we never train them. So that's why internal assessment of organization workforce is very crucial. So that's when we'll make then internal assessment of organization workforce and forecasting HR demand and supply. So that's demand and supply is very, very crucial. So we need to be think about in some profession is very shortage now, like in teaching, like you may be heard about in the NHS, 10 more than 10,000 doctors are short, and 40,000 nurses are shortage in those areas. So we need to think about why is it due to the external supply, internal supply, how we can fulfill. Is it due to the net immigration for an area, that individual entering and leaving workforce, like GPs? Yesterday was discussion on BBC, the lot of GP shortages and new GPs, very less, taking trainings, and it means more people leaving and less people joining. Ultimately, will be the gap, and the demand is high, and the population is growing, and the age of course, expectancies of life and things, so we need to make sure, the supply of the workers is right. If we don't plan it, we will be lose, otherwise we'll struggle. We're not going to achieve what we're supposed to be. Then the demand forecasting, HR supply and demand. Of course, demand we have a higher in NHS, so supply is less. So ultimately there is a gap. So we need to be look around the succession planning, long-term plan for orderly replacement. So we need to think about how many managers we need next 5 years, how many nurses we need. So what we have, if we don't have yearly mm, for 12 next 12 months, next 3 years, next 5 years, where we want to be, what demand will be, how much immigration we have, how many people will use, or in terms of the growth of population. So all these questions we need to be asked, demand and supply, managing human resource surplus. If we have a surplus human resource, workforce reductions, maybe we can downsizing, right sizing. A lot of people, maybe we heard this terminology, reduction in force, mean all reducing the number of employees in our organization, cause economics weak product demand, a loss of market shares. We can look around in terms of the Brexit. If the economics growth will be slow, of course we need maybe less staff now. So we need to be planned, and maybe we can make people redundant, or people those are leaving, we're not replacing them until the Brexit or the economics growth will be settled down. So that's these sort of the question we need to be asked when we're making any HR plan and strategies we can use. Estimate internal labor supply for a given unit. We can current staffing levels, projected outflow this year, projected inflow, how many people will join, uh, units internal supply for this and the time next year. So all these start of the question we need to ask, and when we make a HR plan, or we make HR strategies accordingly. So HR may have a view of the next big So we can look around in when we do the organization planning, we can do product, we can do the customer and processes, but the people planning is more crucial in our organization because other things won't work without human being as well. HR business planning, HR must develop its own business plan and focus on the supporting to the organization. So our plan, HR plan, need to be linked with the overall organization objective. Any question?
No, no, no.
Okay, so we need to inline the business and HR needs. If we don't inline it, there will be a conflict and we're not going to achieve overall organization objective. Uh, there are few slides extra. The reason is maybe a bit, that some slide is just a keyword there and some slide because those will help us, when we'll prepare the assignment. Developing the HR strategy, deeper knowledge and understanding of the business goal. If we don't have you're just a new HR manager and you not learn about or you don't have a training, you don't know about organization, missions, values, and other things, the future plan. So HR planning, you can't in line with it. So that's why it's quite crucial to understand the culture and the business practices within our organization. Or organization performance, we need to be look around how will often more we monitor like appraisal of our staff organization design and structure. We need to be in HR strategies. We need to be reflect strategic resourcing where we can recruit and number of the component, all these we need to organization development. Of course we need to look around the team, we need to look around the managers in a HR, and how much, if we are a growing organization, we need to think about how much new staff, how many people we need to be recruit. So in our organization development point of view, component and benefit, what sort of, so we need to be, our HR strategy can be reward strategy, what compensation will be, what the performance related pay will be. So all these sort of, within our HR planning need to be reflected. So when organization culture, we need to be reflect as well. So what sort of the culture, because the people and the structure reflect in overall organization HR and the business strategies, extra value, communicate activities in terms of the outcome and the objective, dealing with the line managers and the leaders. Always we need to make sure in our organization what system will be in place in our organization. It's not seems easy to use the common HR measures, what values managers and the leader anticipate. We could speak in terms of the productivity improvement rather than engagement secure or the safety trend completions. What have improved in the sales and the profit? So we can reflect, what is it the strategy we make it is reflecting in terms of the sales, in terms of performance, in terms of customer satisfaction. So all we can HR and the business strategies, uh, validated data and output. HR collected a wide range of workforce ticks. So are we evaluating the data? Always we need to look around. P correlation. There is a correlation between if we are advertising in different areas and we recruiting different age group or different the skills. It's a correlation between the overall performance as organization or not. Of course it make difference. So in our organization, so we'll go through. Maybe we heard about this company Aon
On
PLC,
the yeah.
British multinational corporation providing risk management, insurance, reinsurance, brokerage, and human resource solutions. So they have the business strategies. So conduct enterprise and business unit specified market and research. They have a workforce capabilities and challenges, identify enterprise-wide business unit, regional business, and world force objectives. So always we need to look around those. Then HR strategic planning. Their HR leaders conduct the planning forum to review the issues, priorities, initiative, and approaches, and the timeline. Then they have a HR initiative, portfolio management. They use HR scorecard metrics and monitor. Of course, we need to monitor the HR policies we have effective or not. Any question?
No.
Okay, so next we have, when we look ASDA, so we can look around ASDA case study as well. So business strategy of ASDA. ASDA strategy is the center our missions, purpose, and values which guide us. We work to make our business even better. Our strategic framework. So four, these are key things. They focus on the customer, colleagues, shareholders, and operating model. So our HR strategies need to be reflect according to the HR. So when we look here, operational model is a Britain lowest cost to operate supermarket. So our everyday lowest cost business model enable us to drive productivity and the lowest prices further. That's why they try to be further mergers with Sainsbury, but competition authority not allow them. So we need to look around the, if we look the operational model, lowest cost, and then if we look the colleague, great place to work, ASDA's way to working remain core to how we do things and working with and through others willingly and well. So that's why their HR strategy is linked with their operational and the business model. Any question?
No, it's okay.
So that's why we need to think about. So job restructuring as the plan to create 12,000 new jobs next 5 years, as the is cutting 13,660 middle managers and redeploying staff in the fast growing line. The Walmart owned company said 4,100 staff were affected by restructuring. That's why they are looking at restructuring. That's why the merger with Sainsbury, they already restructured before as well. So next we're looking 4.3. What is the 4.3? So 4.3 is a critical monitor effectiveness. How we can monitor effectiveness in human resource management. So we need to be focused on three major areas. Staff turnover, the percentage of the staff who will leave during a period. So we need to be, if not effective, the percentage is high. So we have to think about, we have to reflect. Labor productivity, output per employees, comparing with our organization with industry averages. Absentee, percentage of the staff who are absent from work. If they are a lot, why they are? Is it our poor recruitment plan strategies or the planning that leads to we not recruit the right person for the right job at the right place? So thus we need to be look around under 4.3. And further employee retention, our business lose staff, retirement, maternity, death, and long-term sickness. So we need to be look around the staff turnover and need to be managed if the business is to be to succeed. And the employee retention, the ability of a business to convey its employees to remain within a business. So that represents the culture as well. Ways to improve staff turnover, how we can improve effective recruitment and training, recruit the right staff. Do we all you can keep the best staff, role of training and other motivational tools, provide competitive pay and other incentive. Maybe you can reduce the number of days to work, or you can provide the flexible working with the legislation as well. Job enrichment, what is meant by? So we need to look around, in the job, what we can enrich, we can add the values, reward, and the staff loyalty. Job enlargement, we can give them more tasks, and the job enrichment, we can rotate and we can provide, the best. And the services award, extra holidays that can be, so will improve the staff turnover. Factor affecting the labor productivity, we need to be addressed extent and the quality of fixed asset, equipment, IT systems, skills, ability, and motivation of workforce. That's also affect the productivity, method of production, organization. That's we need to think about. External factor, reliability of suppliers, that also affect the, if they don't supply us goods on time, the labor productivity can be low. So labor productivity formula, output per period, and number of employees at work. So we can divide and we can look around per person or uh, uh, tackling up the absentees, how we can tackle and understand the causes, set the target and monitor trend, have a clear sickness and absence policy, provide reward for the good attendance, and consider the wider issue of employees' motivation. And that's all really 4.3. And in 4.3, we can go through a bit, the quiz that will help, the effectiveness in terms of HR. Any question?
No, that's okay.
Okay, so let's quick, we'll go through. It's a bit that will help to clear further our concept. So we're analyzing HR performance. So let's first question. A likely effect of a significant increase in the labor turnover is why?
You said a likely effect of increase in labor turnover is higher recruitment and training costs.
Okay, good, well done, correct. Labor turnover is measure of?
Is the last one.
Good, well done. A significant improvement in the labor productivity is likely to reduce
labor turnover.
Labor turnover. Thank you. Well done. Is it we said labor turnover? No, that's not right.
It should be unit cost.
Yes, which we'll go through. The percentage of employees who leave a business over a period is known as
labor turnover.
Labor turnover. Okay, well done. Okay, next. And increase the labor productivity would normally allow business to
Well, it should be A.
Well done. Okay, next, a firm produce using 50 employees and 10 machines. What was the labor productivity? Little calculation.
The employee should be 4,000, isn't it?
So we'll go 4,000. Yes, well done, correct. Which of the following actions would be most likely to reduce manufacturer's labor cost per unit?
Well, the likely one is C.
Well done, correct. Which statement below about the labor turnover is true?
Well, it should be calculated on an annual basis.
Sorry, which one?
Okay, what can help measure? No. Well, okay, let's use A. Let's use A.
Well done, correct, yes. Which of these is most likely to result in improve the labor productivity at a pizza factory?
Well, more quality control, inspection.
No, that's not what we'll go through.
It's
Which of the
allegedly
following
protected.
would be least likely to be effective strategy to reduce autism?
The second one.
Second one.
Yeah.
Well done, correct. Well done. So we earned two wrong. So we'll go through. That was the unit cost
Unit
here.
cost is, yeah, unit cost I've said, yeah.
Yeah.
And automation, yeah.
Okay, well done. All other correct. So well done. Today we learn about how we can make strategy be able to plan effective human resource management. We discuss 4.1. We analyze the impact of organization strategy, structure, and cultures. Then we discuss 4.2, where we discuss how we can plan effective HR strategy. And last 4.3, we discuss how we can critically monitor the effectiveness by looking all these three factors. And that's all today. Any question?
No?
No.
So